What's going on, everybody, man? This is Jordan Pugh. We're back again with another episode of the Coach's Corner, and I got a special guest with me, man, an old former teammate of mine, a guy who has worked his way into the coaching ranks, and here to drop a lot of knowledge, man, and ask and answer frequently asked questions that a lot of you guys have, man. So I'm here to welcome Tony Jerod-Eddie to the Coach's Corner podcast, man. Introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So it's I'm Tony, Tony Jerod-Eddie, from Dallas, Texas. Graduated from DeSoto High School in 2008. Yep. Made one of the best decisions in my life to come, go play at Texas A&M University, and made a lot of memories, made a lot of friends. A lot of good times, some ups, some downs. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was a special time in my life. Was fortunate enough to play in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. Went undrafted in 2012. Played 7 years and retired in 2018 and decided to get in coaching. And it actually kind of chose me. I didn't really choose it. So, yeah. So now I'm here. I'm the D-line coach at my alma mater, man. And I'm blessed to say the least.
Yeah, man. D-line coach at the greatest school in the nation, big dog. So then let's get into that. So I know how you kind of a little bit of how you transition into the coaching game, right? For me, when I got out of the league, man, I ended up losing the hearing in my left side, man, dealing with the vertigo issues, balance issues, all that. Man, how did that transition happen for you? You're playing, things are going well. All of a sudden, things come to a halt, and then you have to figure out that transition. What was that like for you?
So actually, I had a similar situation. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2017, and that's what kind of that's what took me out. I had the opportunity to come back after I had rehabilitated myself pretty much back to like normal health, but my family was not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like they was so for me, I was just like, it is what it is. I retired and I went back to school, started a master's program at Tulane, and then just kind of got bored. I was actually in Denver, and I was taking my son to Vaughn's practices. Mm-hmm. He loved his Uncle Vaughn, so I was taking him to Vaughn practices. And at the time, Vic Fangio, who was my defensive coordinator in San Francisco, he was the head coach for the Broncos. So they would come in. It was probably 7-8 coaches on that staff who were on the staff with me in San Francisco. And every day be like, just come watch film. Like, come, man. I'm like, man, I don't want to coach, man. I don't want to. And it just kind of happened. So I started I did an internship and started in fall camp of 2020, and then around the same time, the D-line coach Terry Price from Texas A&M, rest his soul.
TP.
He called me and was kind of catching up, asking me about a kid that we have that I'm coaching right now, Shamar Turner. He went to Toto, me and Vaughn went to, he was asking me about him and, kind of catching up, seeing what I was doing. I told him I was coaching, and he was like, man, I didn't know you wanted to coach. And I said, me neither, coach. I didn't either.
Straight up, yep.
Yeah. So, 2 weeks later, he called me and was like, hey, man, we got a spot for you if you want to come back. So I went back that was a no-brainer for me, go back to Texas, family in Texas, like, no-brainer for me. So I started as an O-line TA in 2020. And so I did that for 2 years and moved over to the dark side, to where I wanted to be on the defense that next season. And, was the defensive line assistant to Elijah Robinson, who's now the defensive coordinator for Syracuse. And got blessed with the opportunity to head the D-line up last year after they fired Jimbo and Elijah became interim head coach. And, Elko came in and retained me. So it's just kind of, that's kind of my little journey. Football was always, something I did. And I had a passion doing it, and I love the game. And, I owe the game so much. It blessed me with so many opportunities. I know so many people, but it was never who I was. And I always kept it that way. So my transition was a lot easier than a lot of people's. A lot of my peers and a lot of people that I know, they have a hard time because it consumes who they are as a person.
Exactly.
Football never. It was just something that I did, and I was good at separating the two. You know what I mean? I didn't let it become who I was as a person. So my transition was honestly, and it sounds crazy, but mine was not that difficult.
Man, that's big, man. It's funny that you said that it found you, because it's kind of the same way with me, how I started my whole deal. I never wanted to coach either. I'm like, man, I'm good. I ain't trying to do all that. You know what I mean? But then it ends up finding you, man. And I got more joy coaching than I ever did playing. You know what I'm saying? So, man, let's get into it. All right. So, number one question I get asked all the time from all my guys, man, all my guys who've gone off to college, getting recruited now, and it's mainly from the parents. How does this recruiting thing work? Like, be straight up with me, man, coach. Tell me how it works. How do I get to the SEC, Big 12, Big 10, whatever that is, right? How does it work from a coach's perspective? How do you guys break this thing down? Who do you identify? What's the process, man? What can you tell these kids and parents when it comes to that?
So our process is, we believe in, we don't believe in like stars, and obviously that stuff is there, that information is there, and you go check the kids out, but like, that's not the end all be all for us. Like, we believe in our evaluation. So even if it's a kid that we've identified and, 247 or Rivals or ESPN have him ranked as a 3-star or whatever, you know what I mean? If he's, we order our board how we see our board, you know what I mean? And so to go a little deeper into that, like, we'll watch. I mean, when a new staff came in, I probably watched 150 defensive linemen, 200 defensive linemen, and you watch them and you kind of rank them, and then you with the guys, you put them to the side, and it's like, okay, we like these guys, let's watch them all. And I like to watch them like back to back to back. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they get a little skewed. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, that's how we do it. And these staffs are really big. You know what I mean? So we have a scouting department, and they'll send us guys like, hey, this guy from Norman, Oklahoma, like let's watch this guy, or Tulsa, Oklahoma, or you know what I mean? Like, I think this guy's worth a watch. They'll send us guys, and we kind of, during the off season when we got some time, like, good players make good coaches. I don't care what people tell you. You know what I mean? If my Jimmy's better than your Joe's, then we gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're gonna be a big scheme. You know what I mean? So a lot of this game is like, yes, I'm a good coach. I'm knowledgeable. I know my stuff. My counterpart, Sean Spencer, he's a great coach. He knows his stuff. He's been coaching for 29 years. I'm 34 years old. Like, he's been coaching almost as long as I've been living. Like, we've seen a lot of good players, coach a lot of good players. We trust our evaluations, and that's just what it is. Like, we trust our evaluations. I can't speak for any other schools, any other institutions, because I've only been at this one. But like, it's always been that way. Like, we trust our evaluations. So and that's kind of how we go about it. And we'll see guys. We'll have, guys go out and recruit and say, hey, the wide receiver coach, like, hey, this guy looked the part. Like, you check him out. He'll send me the film. I watch the film. We'll send it to. I trust my scouting guy. His name is Sean Cook. He came from Duke University, and I trust him. Like, I trust his evaluation. I kind of, you play the game. It's like, you might like a guy, because I'm just not getting to know him. So I might like a guy and say, I don't, what you think, Sean? Like, this dude don't look that good to me. He like, man, I like, one, that tell me two things. Like, he's not scared to give his opinion, his honest opinion. Like, I know you the D-line coach, Tony, but like, I like this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then we seeing it the same way. So I trust him. So if he send me a guy, I like him, and I look at him. I don't just, obviously I got to still do my due diligence. I take a look, you know what I mean? But if he send me a guy, I know it's worth my while.
Man, I love it, man. So look, all right, so that poses the question, man, because I know this is another question I get all the time from the players now. All right, man, I know you watching 200 plus guys, 100 plus guys. All right, well, how do you narrow it down to, all right, man, here's my list of the top 20, top 10, my top 5, whatever. What are those things, those qualities that you're looking for in a player, man, that you could resonate with the people listening?
So obviously redeeming qualities like, height, size, speed, that type of thing. We don't just watch, we watch point of attack. And this is not just Texas A&M. I think this is, pretty much standard. You know what I mean? Obviously some people have different philosophies and stuff, but like, I like to watch point of attack tape. Like, I don't just watch the highlight tape. I like to watch, point of attack and see how physical you are or not. You know what I mean? I like to watch full games instead of just highlights, just to see like, okay, he had a bad play. He got pancaked.
Yeah.
How's he going to come back the next play? Okay, he missed a tackle. He got juked in the backfield. What is he going to do the next play? Is he down? Is he, you know what I mean? Is he like pumped up? Like, oh, I got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to make up for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. So that's just kind of how I go about it. Like it's a bunch of, you never going to get them all right. And I think, I think if you do your due diligence and you believe in your philosophy and you go about it the right way and your way, like I believe that as long as you if you right on more than you wrong on, you fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yep. Exactly, man. So, all right. Now, with that being said, man, the next thing that you roll into that you get a lot is the recruiting services. You got the NSAs of the world. You got all these different people hitting you up. Man, how much of a factor does that play, or does it even play a factor? Do you even pay attention to the recruiting services? So if I'm a parent, I'm paying this money, man, to get my kids seen, this, that, and the other. Am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my money? What do parents need to know about that?
To be honest with you, I don't even like the companies you just named. I have no clue.
Thank you.
Who they are.
Thank you for verifying that, bro. Yes, thank you.
Our evaluations and then live evaluations. Like
yeah,
if I can see this kid, like if he comes to our camp, this kid comes to our camp or goes to a, one of those, a rivals camp or something like that. We watch that stuff. Like we look at the numbers, we watch that stuff. We look at the measurements. You're gonna start with the measurements. Okay, this dude, he's a 2027. He's 6'2.5".
Yeah,
he might got a chance. You know what I mean? Like, we look at the arms and stuff like that, wingspan, and then we get into the how does he move? But then I mean, the kid can kill a camp. I'm still gonna turn on the film too.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
So because at the end of the day, we play football and we don't play footballs with underwear and shirts on. Like that's
Okay, we getting somewhere. Yeah, I love it, man. Because the next question that you led right into it is the camp. So all right, so we got camps. So we got the camps that you have at A&M. We got the rivals, Under Armour, all that stuff. And then let's throw 7-on-7 and all that stuff in there. Them 7-on-7 and 5v5. All right, how big of a factor does that play? So let's start with the camps. How important are the camps? Do they need to attend the camps? What camps do they need to attend? Then the second question is, how important is the 7-on-7 to you guys, the 5-on-5 with the linemen to you guys? How does all that factor in?
To me, live evaluation is the best evaluation.
Okay.
Even if I've seen your film, come work out for me.
Yeah.
What do you have to hide? You know what I mean? Like, what do you have to hide? Like, come work out for me. I don't care how many stars you got. I don't care how many offers you got. Come work out for me. Let me see. Let me put my eyes. Let me put you through our drills. You know what I mean? Let me see you move. I want to see. You know what I mean? Live evaluation to me is the best evaluation. This is my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right. This is how I feel.
Right.
So
right.
Go to it. Go to a camp. Like it won't. I don't think that it can hurt you. Like whatever school you choose is gonna be for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Texas A&M may not be for you. It might be Tulsa. That's okay. It's a free education, right? You get to further your dreams. And if you go there and you kill it nowadays, you're gonna be at Texas A&M in 2 years anyway in the transfer portal.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything not for you. So like, I think I'm gonna run slow. I'm not gonna go to the camp. I think to me, live evaluations. Coaches love live evaluations. One that tells me like, okay, this kid is a highly recruited guy. He not afraid of competition. He gonna come work out. Yeah. Like that check a box for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like I just feel like I always go and showcase your skills. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I always go and showcase your skills. And no matter what camp it is, everybody, I was not fortunate enough to be able to afford to go to camps. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's situation different. You know what I mean? But if you can get to your local, if you're a kid in Dallas and you can make it to a UNT camp, you know what I'm saying? It's not Texas A&M, but if you can make it to a camp, get to a camp. Like live evaluations, I think that's important. Then like 5-on-5s, like all of that stuff is nice. It shows movement. You know what I mean? It shows pass rush. Like, but at the end of the day, like, okay, this kid couldn't be blocked at a 5-on-5. I'm still gonna go turn on his film.
Right. And
so it's film evaluations and live evaluations. If you know what I mean, like if I can evaluate you off film and I can get you live, like I can answer a lot of my questions that I have.
Love it. Love it, man. So, all right. So what I'm hearing is live evaluation one-on-one. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. But then I think the second thing you said is that helps you build a relationship too. Am I correct in saying that? Guy comes in, you get to see him compete, you get to actually get your eyes on him, but now you're building that relationship. If it's 2 years down the road, they go somewhere else, and now you start the reevaluation process with the portal, all that stuff matters. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I think like the saying, like never burn a bridge, like,
right.
and it goes for us too. Like I treat everybody that come on campus, whether they're going to be recruited by Texas A&M or not, I treat them all with respect. You know what I mean? Like I treat them because, and I'm not doing it because he might be in the portal. I'm doing it because that's just how I am as a human being. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
But that gets you in the door.
Yeah.
Our guy Nick Skirton, right? I had never met him, but I'm just like, if Nick Skirton, who we just signed, who led the Big Ten in sacks last year. Now we signed him here at Texas A&M. He's from Bryan College Station. Like, imagine if that kid came to a Texas A&M camp. He wasn't a Texas A&M player. Like he ended up going to Purdue, right, out of Bryan College Station. I'm sure he wanted to go to Texas A&M. He didn't get the offer.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had treated him bad and big timed him. Texas A&M wouldn't even been a question for him.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I wasn't here when he was coming out of high school, but I'm like, that could have been bad for Texas A&M because that guy was one of the top pass rushers coming out of the portal. And imagine if Texas A&M had big time them.
Yeah,
they'd have been off the list. You know what I'm saying? Now this kid gonna be a first, second round pick, and he back home at Texas A&M. You just never know how things gonna work. People are underdeveloped. You know what I mean? Late bloomers. You just never know how it's gonna work.
That's good, man. That's good. So let me ask you this, man, because I know that we tight on time, so I'm trying to get you in, get you out. And let me ask you this: how early does the recruiting process start? That's one of the big things that I get from a lot of my parents and players, man. They're always saying, like, man, is it too late for me? Am I supposed to be doing this in the 8th grade, 9th grade, whatever? How early does that process start now, especially with the portal now, how things have changed, everything is sped up? What do the people need to know about that?
I think everybody's situation is different, but I don't think it's ever too late. And I don't necessarily think it's ever too early. Are you gonna get an offer in the 8th grade and the 7th grade? Depending on who you are, what position you are, you know what I mean? Like as a D lineman, probably not, right? Unless you look like me in the 8th grade.
Right. In 8th grade, right. Yeah.
And you come to a camp and you can, you know what I mean? Like you can move, it's like, oh, but like it's not, that don't happen a lot of times. Now it's sometimes, quarterbacks and receivers maybe like, it's like, oh, okay, this kid, like, it's a kid, Booby Feaster from DeSoto that been coming.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
That's been coming to camps, Texas A&M camps since 7th to 8th grade, and like going toe to toe with dudes who are like rising sophomore, rising juniors at camps, like that we thinking about taking, and he been like going toe to toe with them dudes, and it's like this dude is for real. You know what I mean? Like but like I don't think that it's ever too late, and I don't think it's too early to start going to camps, traveling around, like you know what I mean. Like I don't think that it could ever hurt you.
Right. Love it, man. Well, shoot, man, let me get you out of here on this. I like to do this with all the coaches, man. And, give you a spill on why A&M is the place for people. Now, I know why, you know why, man. We talking home for us. You know what I mean? That's our school. But if you could tell the people, man, like, look, the reason why they should be at A&M, what should that be?
First and foremost, like, and Texas A&M is a special place, and it's always like, people can't really understand it. Like I can't really verbalize it. Like when you try to tell people how great of a school Texas A&M is, like it's almost like I can't tell you, but it's like once you come, you'll see it. And that was my experience, right? It was like, I went to Texas A&M with Vaughn when they were recruiting him, and the feeling I got from the people, from the community, it's just different. It's a spirit that'll never be told, and they said like that. That's that's what it is. Like
it's true.
You cannot really. I'm actually getting chills like talking about this because I don't.
Yeah,
like when I'm
same with me, man.
And it's like when I'm recruiting, I'm not trying to like sell that, sell that place, so to speak. I'm trying to sell, because the place don't sell itself. I'm trying to give information about, our defensive scheme, the culture of our program, all of that stuff. So I really don't brag on Texas A&M, but I let Texas A&M brag on itself. You know what I mean? But that place is a special place, man. It really is, and it's still people come, and it's been people that came and that's left and that didn't end up choosing it, but they always say the same thing, man. That's a special place. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
And special people, you talk about Mike Elko and the direction that our program is going. And I wear 2 hats, right? I'm a former player, I'm a former student, and I'm also an employee of the school. And I have never been, I have never been as excited about the direction and the trajectory of our program than I am right now. Leadership of Mike Elko. He's a roll up the sleeves, get the work, God. That's what our program needs. You know what I mean? I had great times with Jimbo. Jimbo's a great coach, legendary coach, one of the greatest coaches. So not speaking down on him at all. You know what I mean? Had great times there, had ups, had downs. You know what I mean? And that's what you're gonna have. I'm speaking about, our where I am right now, where the program is right now, and where I think it's going. Texas A&M is the place to be. It's the place to be. We are on the cusp of doing something special.
Yes,
and I
sir.
You know what I mean? I'm in it. I know where we're going, and it's gonna be special. I just I can't wait to show everybody.
Yes, sir, man. Well, shoot, man, I appreciate it, man. And of course, you ain't got to sell me. That's my school. And like you said, man, unless you go down there, you won't understand it. People just don't get it. Well, shoot, man, that's Tony Jerod-Eddie, D-line coach of Texas A&M. On the Coach's Corner, thank you for your time, man. Where can they follow you, man, if people want to reach out to you? Where can they follow you?
Thanks for having me, man. I'm Coach Tony on Twitter, Tony Jerod-Eddie. The name is Coach Tony. I'm on there. I'm active. I respond. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, man.
All right, man. Well, until next time, we out.